everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another meal prep video. Yes, I made it. I'm meal prepping. So it's not Sunday meal prep, it's actually Monday meal prep. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Christy. Didn't think I was going to get to a prep this week because I had some fasting I had to do on Sunday. It's Monday now, and I actually was up on the road this morning at 6 o'clock to go to an appointment. So I'm good. I'm kind of a little bit out of it because I am still under a little bit of anesthesia, I think. But I am going to meal prep. I am bringing you meal prep. I said I was going to try, and I'm definitely trying. So for this week, I'm doing breakfast and lunch, and then I'm just pre-packaging, I think maybe 2 dinners. I did end up deciding to pre-package a couple dinners. And for snacks, it's going to be super easy. I'm actually not going to be doing fruit this week at my doctor's advice. So it should be fairly quick. I'm doing CROCKPOT chicken taco chili for lunch this week. It is 0 points on blue and purple and 5 points on green for single serving. So I'm doing those for lunch this week, but those get cooked in the crock pot for 8 to 10 hours. So I decided to put those together last night. I figured that would help, and that way they would cook overnight and I would have them ready to portion out today. So that worked out good. So after I do my intro, I will start with the lunches, show you that from last night, and then move on to breakfast. For breakfast this week is sausage breakfast bowls, and those are 4 points on blue, 1 point on purple, and 8 points on green. And then, like I said, I just have a couple dinners and snacks. So if you want to see how I meal prep breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for my husband and I for the week, then stay with me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Christy, and I'm planning us healthy. Alright everyone, so it's actually Sunday night and I am going to do the CROCKPOT chicken taco chili. It's been a long day. It is actually 11:15 at night on Sunday night right now. So I'm going to throw this together and let it cook overnight in the crock pot. I am making a huge batch of this. So my recipe on my website, it's for 10 servings. But I'm actually going to double it because what I like to do when I make big things like this in the crock pot, if there are things that can freeze well, I like to make a double portion and then I can freeze half of it. So that's what I'm planning on doing. So everything that I'm putting in here is to double this recipe. So all you do is just spray your slow cooker with olive oil spray or some type of cooking spray. For the single serving, not the double, I'm going to go over with you what you need for just the regular serving size for the 10 that's on my website. You'll need 2 pounds of chicken breast, and I just cube it up. If you want, you can leave the chicken breast whole, and then you can shred the chicken after. We prefer our chicken to be just in cubes rather than shredded. You're also going to need 3 cans of Rotel, and I just used the original. You will need 1 can of corn, and you want to make sure the corn is drained and rinsed. The Rotel does not have to be drained. And you'll also need 2 cans of black beans, and again, drain and rinse those as well. You'll need 1 chopped onion, which I have over here, and also a packet of taco seasoning mix. And then a tablespoon of cumin, a tablespoon of chili powder, and 8 ounces of tomato sauce. And then for toppings for it, you can use avocado, cilantro, sour cream, things like that. I just usually add that when it's on my plate at the end. So for my double portion, you are actually going to see me putting in some cannellini beans, and that's because I only had 2 cans of black beans. So in order for me to double this, I would need 4 cans of black beans, and since I didn't have those, I'm just going to use a couple cans of cannellini beans. So what I do first is just combine the beans and the corn into a colander, just rinse them out real well, drain them real well. And then, like I said, I have my crock pot sprayed, and I'm just going to dump everything in. So first dump in the beans and the corn, and then I'm going to dump in the onion, the tomato sauce, the diced tomatoes with chilies. This does have some kick to it, so you could definitely not put as many cans of Rotel in there. You can leave some of those out or leave the chili powder out. We like a lot of spice. Right, then add the taco seasoning. So as you can see, this is so easy to make. And this is 0 points on blue and purple and 5 points on green. And then the cumin. Okay, and then just mix that up real well. And then after that is all mixed, we're just going to add the chicken. So I'm just going to plop it on the top. And you don't really have to mix it in, just kind of nestle it down in there. And that is all there is to it. Now we're going to cook it in on low for 8 to 10 hours. You could actually cook it on high for like 4 to 6. I think I've mentioned before, when I use my slow cooker, it is very rare I use the high setting. I just always use the low setting. And then if you want to shred your chicken, this is where at the end, about 30 minutes before it's done, you could pull your chicken out, shred it up, and then put it back in and let it cook for another 30 minutes. So that's all there is to that. So I'm going to get that going overnight, and then I will come back to you tomorrow and work on breakfast. Alright, so this is what it looks like when it's done. It is so good. And like I said, you can take the chicken out if you want. Like if you don't want to cut it like I did, if you want to just leave it whole, nestle the whole chicken breast down in there, then you can pull them out and shred them if you want. But we like our chicken, you know, in chunks like that. All right, so now I'm going to put it into bowls. I'm back now. It's Monday. And what I have done is I took the whole entire thing of chili and I weighed it out on the scale to see how much it was for the whole thing. So the total amount, I took it, I wanted 20 portions. I divided that and it came up to about 209 grams each. So 209 grams is equivalent to about 1 cup. So these are 2-cup containers. So I'm just gonna go through and put about 2 cups in each. So I'm just gonna carefully, I probably should have my apron on, but I'm just gonna carefully put these into my 2-cup containers. And then what I'll do is, if we want like sour cream or cilantro or anything like that, then I'll just put that in a little container that morning. Usually we just eat this plain, to be honest. Okay, so there's our 6 portions. So as I said, I'm going to be freezing half of this. We're actually going to be having this for lunch today. Like I said, it's Monday, so I'll have enough for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at work. So that's what these will be for. We'll have some today, and then I will freeze the rest for another time. This freezes real well. I'm going to just set these aside. I'm not going to cover because they are still a little bit warm. So I'll set these aside, and now that was quick. We'll move on to breakfast. Alright, so I changed things a little bit. I'm going to save the glass bowls for breakfast. So I just rewashed those and I transferred the chili into these dishes because we decided that we are going to have some sour cream with it. So I have 2 tablespoons of light sour cream that I've weighed out and put in these little containers that I get at Dollar Tree. And I'll just put those in there. And then I have some green onion that I'm just going to throw in each tray. And we'll put that in there. Sometimes we do cheese too, but we're not going to do cheese this time. And then that way I'll keep those glass bowls, which will be perfect for the breakfast bowls. Alright, now I will start on breakfast. Okay, so for the breakfast bowls, these are so easy. I'm just using eggs, chicken sausage. This is the Alfresco country style chicken breakfast sausage. This kind I get from Publix. This is 1 point per link, but there is also a kind that Aldi sells, which is the Never Any. It's called Never Any Country Style. Make sure to get the country style and not like maple style or something like that, because those will be more points. This kind is 1 point per link, and as well as, so is the Never Any kind at Aldi. It's 1 point per link. So I'm just going to chop these up, mix it in with the potatoes. For the potatoes, I'm just using canned potatoes, and I actually have two different ones. I got these ones at Aldi. Those are whole potatoes I just chopped up, and then these ones are sliced potatoes. So I love canned potatoes in my breakfast bowls. And then the other thing I have is 12 eggs that I'm going to whisk up with about 1/4 cup of water. I used to use milk or half and half in my eggs, but I realized that the water does just as good at fluffing the eggs. So I'm just going to whisk those up. And I've sprayed my pans with olive oil spray. You can use whatever cooking spray you want. I always use olive oil spray in mine. And I'm going to season my potatoes with a little bit of garlic salt and some pepper. Sometimes I put parsley in here too, but I'm just going to use garlic, salt, and pepper today. Alright, so for my chicken sausage, I think you can see me, yeah. I'm just going to cut them into the small pieces. And dump those right in with the potatoes. And then I'm going to heat up my pan for the eggs. So I just want to let the potatoes and the sausage cook. I usually just let them cook until they're browned a little bit. I have 12 eggs here and about 1/4 cup of water. And I have my pan sprayed with olive oil spray. I have my burner on about medium, about 5. Just pour those in there. So then just pull it off the burner and then kind of just whisk it around a little bit. So when you're not making as many as this, of course it's not going to take this long. It should just take you a couple minutes if you're just cooking up a couple eggs. But just keep doing this, and then what you want to do when you get to the end is you don't want them to stay on the stove and keep cooking, because they will continue cooking after you take them off the burner. So at the end they start cooking real quick and you just have to kind of watch them. Alright, and that is it. So that is how you make nice fluffy eggs. Okay, so now that the eggs are done, make sure to take those off the burner, slide back on down here. And then what I'm going to do is just transfer the eggs into this bowl because I don't want them to keep cooking. I have actually weighed out this bowl so that I can then weigh everything after to see how much I need to put into each breakfast bowl. And if you wanted to add salt and pepper to the eggs, you could definitely do that. I didn't add any to the eggs because I added some to the potatoes, and the chicken sausage usually has salt in it as well. So what we'll do is we may just add some salt at the end, you know, like to the top of it. So I have my eggs in my bowl, and I'm just going to kind of chop them up now. And just keep cooking the potatoes and sausage until they're brown to your liking. So a lot of people ask me about white potatoes because some people say that canned potatoes, they just don't want to try them. But as you can see, you just drain them out and they just cook up nice like breakfast potatoes. Okay, so I think those are about done. The sausage that got away from me. Shut my burner off, and now I'm just going to add these into that bowl with the eggs, and I'll meet you back at my prep table. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, like I said, I weighed my bowl out so that I know what the bowl weighs, and I can figure out how much everything weighs. So I'm just going to combine everything in the bowl. And then I'm just going to take the total and divide it by 6. Alright, so you know I can't do this in my head. So, and now that I have my camera, I can actually look stuff up on my phone while I'm recording. Before I used to have to stop and like if I needed to check the points on something. Alright, so this is 12.98. The bowl weighed 144. So that's 11.54 divided by 6. So we're going to get a little over 192 grams in each dish. So now what I need to do is just mix it all up first. So after it's all mixed, just measure out 192 grams into each bowl. So, as you can see, that is a pretty good portion. Okay, so that is it for breakfast. Now I'll see what, if anything, I'm going to be putting together for dinner and for snacks. Alright everyone, so for dinners this week I didn't think that I was going to be doing any pre-packaging, but I actually decided that I'm going to. So if you're new to my channel, basically all I do for dinners is I just pre-package everything into the bags. I weigh out, like for instance I'm having roasted potatoes, then I do the turkey tenderloin. So I have my turkey tenderloin already weighed out, I have my potatoes weighed out, and I just put everything in the bag, and that way it's already weighed, and when I get home I know it's already portioned and I can just start cooking it. So that's basically the only thing I'm doing. I'm not cooking or cutting or anything like that. So for the first night, I'm doing garlic parmesan salmon. And so I have a pound of salmon here. This actually makes enough for 3 portions. When I make the salmon, I make 3. So I'm just going to stick that whole salmon thing in there like that. And that night that I have that, I do the 90-second ready rice. Really don't need to put that in the bag, but again, just for visual purposes. For the vegetable, I'm going to do just frozen Brussels sprouts, and I'm going to have 1 point worth of Velveeta shreds on those. And then for the topping, I already have the topping combined, and I'll read to you what is in this. So this is 1/8 of a cup of Parmesan, 1/8 of a cup of panko breadcrumbs, 1/8 of a cup of seasoned breadcrumbs. You don't have to mix the breadcrumbs up. I just like to do that. I don't know why. I mix panko and regular breadcrumbs. But if you want, you can just use 1/4 of a cup of whichever one you prefer. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And then the other thing I have is a tablespoon of butter, and then I have 2 garlic cloves. So that'll all be for the topping. So I'm just throwing everything into the bag, and that way it's all ready that night that we have it. And that's all there is to that. I'm going to have all the recipes down in the description box below for all the recipes for the dinners as well as the breakfast and lunch. For the dinners, I really don't have, we're actually doing steak tonight. I do have the salmon recipe on my website. The turkey tenderloin, there's really no recipe. I'll show you why. I'll show you what goes on that. And then Thursday night, I'm not pre-packaging that. I'm just gonna throw a pork loin in the slow cooker. I'm just gonna sprinkle it with some seasoning, and we're gonna have that night. So I won't be doing anything with that one. All right, for the turkey tenderloin, I actually get the Jennie-O turkey tenderloin. This is 0 points on blue and purple, and on green it's only 1 point for I think up to 7 ounces. Like you can have quite a bit. So what I do is it comes in a 24-ounce package, so I split it over 2 dinners. So I split it into 2 12-ounce packages. I have this one marked, and I'll just put that one in my freezer. And then this is 12 ounces that my husband and I will split, so we'll each have 6 ounces, which for us will be 0. If you're on purple would be 0, and if you're on green, it would be 1 point. So I'm just gonna throw that in there, and I'm gonna put my potatoes in there. So I'm just gonna do some roasted potatoes with onion and pepper. So I'll just throw my onion in there, throw my pepper in there, throw my potatoes in there, and actually, I am not gonna throw the onion in there because I don't like to put onion and potato next to each other. I think I read somewhere that it does something to the potatoes. So I'll just keep the onion out. And then the other thing that's going in there, whoops, not that, is some Dijon mustard. So all I'm using for the turkey tenderloin is Dijon mustard. And I'm just gonna spread it on the top of the turkey tenderloin, put it in the oven for, I think I cooked this one on 400. Put it in there for 400, and it usually takes about 25 minutes, depending on your oven. And that is all I'm gonna do with that one. I don't know, I may have some other vegetables with it, I'm not sure. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put everything, this is kind of gonna be like a 1-pan thing. I'm just gonna put everything like on a big cookie sheet and put it in the oven and roast it. So I'll cut the peppers and onions up with the potatoes and just roast them. So that's how I do my dinners, just super quick and easy. I knew it'd be easy this week because I was purposely doing that because I just didn't know if I was gonna end up meal prepping. So now I'm gonna move on to snacks. And for my other breakfast, I'm doing the breakfast bowls Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. For my other breakfast, I'm doing the Fiber One cereal, and this is the original kind. This you can actually have 45 grams for 2 points. So the serving size on this is 30 grams, but if you scroll up on your little tracker, you can see that you can actually have 45 grams for 2 points, or you could cut it down and have 27 grams for 1 point. So I'm gonna go with the 2 points. And then I have a ½ cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk that I will bring with me to work, and so that will be my 2 point breakfast. Sometimes I cut up fruit in there, but like I said, my doctor doesn't want me having fruit this week. And then my little pretzel crisps, I have these already weighed out. You can actually have 29 grams. I used to measure 28, but 1 extra gram, I will take it. So these are 3 point snack packs. And then what I usually do is just dip them in 2 tablespoons of the Aldi queso dip. And that dip is 1 point. So that's all I'm doing for snacks this week. Besides, I do have yogurt and pudding, and I'll show you that when I do the spread at the end, which we're at the end. So I'm gonna get the spread out and show you what we ended up with. I think this is probably gonna be my quickest meal prep yet. Okay everyone, so here's what we ended up with. So of course my snacks, pretty much always the same. This is the queso dip that I use for my pretzels. This is 1 point for 2 tablespoons. I have my 2 point yogurts, my 2 point snack pack puddings, and I have some Jell-O that I had bought from yesterday. These are 0, they're sugar-free Jell-O. Then my pretzels, 3 points for those. And for breakfast, I have my cereal, 2 points for my Fiber One cereal, 0 for my vanilla unsweetened almond milk. And then the breakfast bowls, these are the chicken sausage breakfast bowls. And these are 4 points on blue, 1 point on purple, and 8 points on green. Lunch prep this week is the chicken taco chili. And this is 0 points on blue, 0 points on purple, and 11 points on green. This is actually a double portion. This is a 2-cup serving. And then I also have some sour cream in here, 2 tablespoons of sour cream for 2 points. And that's light sour cream. And then for a couple of the dinners that I prepackaged, the garlic, actually it's garlic parmesan, I don't know why I wrote herb, garlic parmesan salmon, and that is 2 points for blue, 2 points for purple, and 10 points for green. And then I am having just a half a cup of the ready rice for 3 points, and cheesy Brussels sprouts with cheese, the Velveeta shreds, will be the 1 point. And then turkey tenderloin, again, low points for this one. 0 points on blue, 0 points on purple, and 1 point for green. I actually have written 4 ounces, but you can actually have, like I said, I think it's up to 7 ounces. I know 6 ounces is 1 point. I just can't remember if it switches at 7 ounces or at 8 ounces. And I'm gonna have roasted potatoes and peppers and onions with that, and that's gonna be 4 points for the potatoes. So that is my prep for the week. Everyone, I made it through. I did a meal prep. I can't believe it. I was so stressed thinking I wasn't gonna be able to prep. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support. You all know that. I hope that the camera angles weren't too bad in this. I'm still getting used to my camera, and this is the first time I've used my camera for meal prep, so please forgive me if the angles are off. So if you're new to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload new content. Again, thank you all so much for all your support. I'll talk to you in my next video. I'm Christy, and I'm planning us healthy.